With so much happening in the financial technology industry, why isn't Zambia having a gateway for now?
I think it's a problem that we face throughout the continent. A large part of the continent remains unbanked. It also extends to other parts of the world. But what we saw as an opportunity is obviously that we could increase financial inclusion within Zambia by then getting a lot of the population that's been unbanked for so long onto official financial services platforms. And that's the solution that essentially what we're trying to provide through Soko.
So you're trying to tap into the consumers that are at least earning about $50 a month, or SMEs that are at least earning $100 per month. Tell me, which kind of services do you hope to bring first onto the table for these particular clientele?
Sure. So we intend to start with transfer services, essentially being able to transfer money from one person to the other. If you look at growth of mobile money wallets in Zambia, that's been growing. It's grown to about 465% over the last 3-4 years. And we believe with government's drive towards a push with a push towards financial inclusion, as well as getting more people onto electronic money platforms, we can see a more rapid growth over the next few years. And this is why we decided to come in and try and set something up now so that we can catch that wave as it goes over.
Are you developing your own system?
Yes, we're developing it on top of open source software. So we'll be able to then bring together a lot of different platforms to create a unique solution that will then be able to solve that problem in Zambia.
Tell me, with over 77% of the people in Zambia already having either a feature phone or a smartphone, what remains the biggest question for you to answer with the case of financial technology? I mean, that's a very interesting number, 77% of penetration. Why exactly isn't there enough banking spread out to these people?
So this is a challenge that you'll see all over the continent. A lot of that population still remains in rural areas, right? So access to electricity remains a problem. Once you can solve at least people being able to have money and access to financial services, it enables things like getting insurance, being able to save more money. And once people are saving more money, then that also unlocks a lot of other opportunities for them to actually use the financial services and the systems around them.
All right, and that's very interesting again when you say that you're looking at making it easier for people in the rural areas. We do know that at least internet penetration, at least 70%, 71% of the people in Africa are remaining offline, and that's sub-Saharan Africa only. So if we put in the North Africa also, that could be maybe bigger or much less. But again, coming back to local payments, so with you coming into the market, you've definitely done your research and you've understood where you're needed most. Not just the rural areas, but of course, looking at the economy itself, you know where exactly that you're trying to tap into. So tell me more on this. With much of the transactions still being done in a cash system, do you see a market reaction on the back of what you're trying to introduce? Like, are people literally interested in this? Have you seen any, test? Have you done a test before to see the uptake or how interesting this could be for them?
So as I mentioned earlier, what we've seen is that there's been rapid growth in terms of mobile money wallet usage within Zambia.
Within Zambia?
Within Zambia,
right.
Yeah. It's grown about 465% over the last 3 years. With that, in addition to government's own drive towards a move towards electronic payment systems, we believe this is the right time essentially to start coming up with solutions such as this. What you find today on the market is that if I need to get money or send money to somebody in the rural area, I have to physically walk to a booth or physically walk to a retail store, deposit money through that, and then send that to the person. The other person then needs to essentially do the same thing, walk to a booth or a retail store and draw the cash. We want to create a system where a seamless transaction can be made, send money, I can pay for goods and services in a store with the same wallet without having to go and draw cash, because we believe security then is compromised if you're walking around with quite a bit of cash on you. Convenience as well, I should be able to transact and buy goods and services essentially from the comfort of my home and be able to send money to you in the same fashion.
So what you're saying is that you're basing on the success of mobile wallets that's in Zambia at the moment.
That's correct. And we've seen that sort of done around the region. M-Pesa is one really good example of that in Kenya in terms of enabling payments for goods and services from a mobile phone to enable people then to purchase more things with their cash on their wallets rather than essentially picking out cash and paying for things. You see other regions such as China and Southeast Asia. We're in China, I think, sometime last year, and you wouldn't see a person taking out cash or even taking out a card to make payment for goods or services, let alone send money to somebody else. So we believe with that uptake in terms of mobile phone usage at 77%,
All right.
it provides a great opportunity essentially to power such services as well.